one reason when you get married, you put a person on a pedestal, right? Sometimes you put them so far that it's not realistic anyway, right? So you got them wait up there and then they boom, you in the clouds and something happen. You don't, I can't trust you anymore. But you can get back to trust, but never ever get to that fantasy level. No. See, sometimes we be at the fantasy level or whatever the case may be.
That's true.
But you'll never get back there again.
You're right.
But you can get close until where you really trust that person, but it's still an inkling, you know.
Yeah.
I know what he will do. I know what she will do.
Right.
You feel me? So that's how I feel with you now.
I was just thinking that it's just according to your pet peeve. Some things that it's harder to forgive than others.
True.
Yeah,
You know,
depending on that.
and it's called your pet peeve. And if they are, if you lose the trust in that. So say for instance for a man, the average man, once they get a wife, as you stated, and they put a wife up on the pedestal, then she don't. It's hard for him to really forgive her for that. It's just a man thing, you know, and it just had nothing to do with. But see now, women are a little different in that area.
Yeah, that's
Women
that's
can
all
forgive better in that area than men can.
Yeah.
A man, y'all know the old saying, a man can
He can ditch, but he can't take.
and that's just true. There's something that they just cannot forgive you for. They can try and try, but it's just something that men can't forgive for.
What's the shit you saying that, man? Do you think that since I'm coming to, if a man can't really forgive that,
Was he
should
really?
should he even stay with the woman?
I think to me personally, I don't, man or woman, if you can't really forgive, you gotta get gone. Cause you can't give what you supposed to, right?
And forgiving is you try to forgive. If you try to forgive, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people really want to forgive. They want to forgive the person because they love them.
Yeah.
Right.
And they want to forgive them. But it's something that's on the inside of you, it won't let you.
Yeah, I get that. But when you realize there's something on the inside,
You
won't
try
let you.
everything, you try counsel, you try everything to forgive, but it's just a man thing.
Well, yeah, we're not gonna put the man or woman on that thing. But I understand what you're going with.
Right.
Yeah. We're not gonna put the man or woman on it because if some women can be they just can't get over. And there's some men, they just can't get over.
It's certain pet peeve, but I'm just saying,
There's
one thing for a man.
For the man you know. For the man you are. One thing for you.
No. The average man. We took a poll in here, and that's all men. What are the things that they really can't? But see, he can understand this, especially what's money. He can understand a whole lot
Gotta
of stuff
think
that
if
she
it's
do.
making them go into bankruptcy.
Yeah. I mean, he probably can understand it.
He probably can get over that.
Yeah, but if you ask the average man, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to. But the average man.
Okay,
Go,
hold on.
Susan.
We got something. We have a question.
Go ahead.
And I respect that opinion, but
Yeah,
that's
take
a cycle of mindset that need to change.
Oh,
Because that's what men, like he say, always think. That it's okay. And she'll get over it. But when I do, you gotta forgive.
Right.
But then they be somebody different the whole time. If the woman's doing something different, this woman becomes the worst woman in the world. That's what we gotta teach our boys and our young men.
Already.
Because, hey, everything come back down to humanity, science, people, emotions, needs.
Right.
We gotta get what you give is what I'm gonna give back.
That's right.
So
big. That's big. I like
if
that.
you respect, yourself and the relationship, I'm gonna do the same.
Do the same thing.
But now, if you want to start playing games and doing this and thinking it's okay, then I'm gonna get over it. I'm not gonna play it with you, but I'm gonna leave you to play them by yourself. Now, but when you do it, or when I do it, don't make me to be this.
Don't make me right.
You know what I'm saying? You know the words that come out from me and mouth. What we gotta do is we gotta change that cycle.
That's right.
We gotta change that cycle. Me gotta stop thinking like that.
Yes, right.
Also, women.
This not your
Because
show.
it's the-
It's not your show.
Hold on.
It's not your show.
Hold
This is
on.
my show.
I know, sir. That's why I never talk on his show. One thing, the biggest contradiction is a man think that he can't forgive, but a woman's supposed to forgive. But when somebody dates your daughter, you got a different expectation for that man.
That's right. Now that's
So that's what I tell my husband all the time. We have these talks at home. Y'all probably already know about how much he talks. But we gotta change that code of thinking.
Yes, I definitely agree, 100%. That's great input.
Mama, do you want to go behind that?
Well, she spoke for me, so
You want to leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave it alone because that's exactly what I wanted to
That
say.
narrative got to be changed.
It have to be changed.
All right. Any other ladies? Because I mean, God, leave. Anybody else?
Put the hammer down. They probably scared talking about this right now. They like, that's topic.
Hey, bro. Okay, let's go. Deal breaker. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about deal breaker? We're gonna take a little intermission now and get some something to drink.
Get them a little spicy.
Yeah. But they need to
They gotta chill out.
take a little breather.
I'm gonna put the air on here or something too, because it's getting hot in this building. But anyway, deal breakers. What do you think about deal breakers?
Well, I think they're absolutely necessary, and like the gentleman right here said, people don't, like I already said, you don't discuss the bad time we date.
You don't talk about
So I think, not necessarily a deal breaker, but I think that's a discussion of boundaries of what things that I feel like as a whoever I am at this point in the relationship that I could not get over. So don't do that.
So if you was talking with a young lady, you and your home girl, y'all sitting down at the table, she talking about this guy and they doing this and they doing that. Do you bring up to her, girl, what's your deal breaker? Have you talked to him about it?
I probably won't use that lingo, but I would, if she's saying that it's going somewhere, I would say, well, what have y'all discussed on whatever it is, your kids, or your finances, where y'all gonna live, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the level that we think of, but not to that level to see what he will or won't do, or what did he say he will or won't do, or what did she say she will or won't do. So I think we should be more conscious of it when we're in relationships than we are.
Definitely. And I think you should. Do you think you should write deal breakers down so you know what your deal breaker are? If you just say, I'm gonna scratch that out, this might not be. Yeah, I went too far with that one.
Like, look.
I ain't saying you gonna show this to the man, but do you need to know what your deal breakers are?
Yeah, because some stuff is probably unrealistic. You might say, I'm
a lot of stuff you do.
I'm not gonna deal with this. If he do this, if he smoke cigarettes in the bathroom too long, he not gonna be my husband no more.
But you can deal with him with smoking a cigarette, but like you're in the bathroom.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And the man too. If she don't cook, I can't deal with no woman don't cook. Well, she probably wasn't cooking.
So do deal breakers change with time?
Yeah, for sure.
But who's your husband, man?
Do deal breakers change with time? What y'all think?
Or do you think it's even realistic to have deal breakers?
Honestly, both. Cause like sometimes some deal breakers are situational, and so communication is one of my examples. I need you to at least be able to communicate with me how you feel, or you're not feeling like you need somebody around you at the moment. Let me know so I can just check on you like, hey, you still okay? You still living? You're not dead yet, right? Cool beans. Now I will talk to you tomorrow just to make sure that you're still alive or something.
Right.
But not just let's go ghost for 3 or 4 days and I think I'm single because you didn't say nothing.
Right, and that is especially nowadays, because a lot of people text and all this relationship, when they date, and then they may feel like, well, I text you Monday and just say, hey, so I ain't have to text them on Friday. So, but that's an expectation that you put. That's letting them know. I want somebody that text me all during the day. Don't just text me on Monday and text me that Friday. Like you text me every day, say good morning. You say what I'm eating for lunch. You say, you know what I'm saying? Somebody you need to know.
I do. He said a word, that I hear a lot in my relationship. I hear it all the time. I get in trouble for it. So let's talk on this. Communication. It's very important in a relationship, right? It's very important.
Most important.
So is that outside of cheating, we know that's the deal breaker, right?
Yeah, we are.
We talking about communication. Is that the number one deal breaker? Is that the number one thing?
It may not be a deal breaker, but it can break the deal.
I disagree on that, ma'am or sir. You can always communicate. Communication is always good.
We talking about
Right.
But not having bad communication.
whether if it is good or bad, it's always good to have communication.
Yeah.
The main key of communication, amongst that communication, is understanding.
No.
It's understanding.
Yeah.
You can out. Go ahead.
You can just keep talking to the world.
Right, if it being on the same page, you know, but you gotta make sure you communicate to make sure that we on the same page. Cause sometimes we think we on the same page, but we not communicating effectively, and then when we start communicating, we say, well, you were thinking about it like this.
So that means we have not have a understanding.
Time out. We not finna have a wireless intervention in here. I mean, you guys back in the forefront with the
Oh no.
okay.
Well, he just put his input
I'm
in.
I'm just putting my input now.
That's right.
I'm not seeing her as my wife right now.
Oh,
You know what I'm
you're not
saying?
sitting there as your wife.
Because
I'm at work.
she's at work.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not seeing her as my wife. I'm just going basically upon me and my feelings in the way that I am.
That's right. Well, thank you, Ollie. Man, we appreciate that input. Be quiet. I need to know. Okay. Think about that.
So communication.
Yeah.
You. What do you require from your husband with communication?
Well, I require it. You see, he's very, he's very talkative tonight. So you know, I really appreciate his input because you know sometimes women we don't think our husband be listening to us. You know, y'all always say we got to nag because y'all not communicating with us. So now I know that he's listening and he's on the same page. So I just require us to have a good understanding, to be on the same level. And when I'm off key, you put me back on key, and then vice versa. So, you know, I think you gotta vibe, cause not just verbal communication, body language. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that eye contact with you and know that we on the same level. You dap ahead, and I know that you know. You let me know if I'm off key. You know what I'm saying? You know how you gotta look with your spouse.
Yes,
And
why?
you gotta look with your spouse. They're like, you doing it, baby. You know, everything
you
good.
doing too much.
So yeah, just stay on the same page.
Or
That's
manage.
my requirement. Right.
Or I know this. You did.
Right. Right. So that's my requirement as far as communication. Let's be on the same page and get us back on the right page when we are.
So why is this communication just so important?
Because how do you know what's going on in a relationship? You already busy. You want to work. They want to work. You're dealing with the kids. You gotta say what's for dinner. You gotta schedule your sex night. You gotta do all this stuff.
It
so
wins.
you know.
It wins.
So you know, you just gotta keep everything on the same page.
So that's the number one deal breaker you would say. Is that yours?
No, we talking about my husband,
Outside of the, what's your number one deal breaker?
I don't know. You tell me yours. You put me on the.
You already know my deal breaker.
What?
But we don't know.
Do I need to say it?
Yes.
Affection.
I knew it.
You already know. If she can't kiss me, I want to be kissed, man. Hey, bro. I need to be kissed, man.
I know you sound like you want to come do it now, guys.
I was thinking about it. But now, on the serious side, though, my thing is this. Do you still love me enough to kiss me and hug me when I come in the door? And that's just me. And my wife, I know communication.
That's your love,
That's her thing, communication.
So that's our love, right?
But my love language is, do you still want to kiss me? Do you still want to hug me? Do you still say, oh boy, you looking so handsome? And, oh, Pete, oh, you know, you understand? All these type of things. I got to hear that from my wife. You like, are you still my number one cheerleader?
That's right. Now that's big.
That's my deal breaker.
Yeah.
If you're not being that, what we doing, baby? We ain't rolling.
Yeah. That's
We ain't
right.
rolling this. See, but that's my deal breaker.
But what do you feel like if you with this person, y'all getting ready to get married and everything is going good, and then in the midst of you all prepping for marriage, you all start discussing deal breakers, and it's something that they feel like, well, this is your deal breaker, and I know I cannot meet the requirement. Do you feel like your deal breaker is not realistic?
No.
Would you rethink it, or would you end the relationship?
Now, but if that's your number one deal breaker, like me, if I got with her and she said, well, I ain't all that touchy feeling now. Now, I ain't gonna be kissing you now. And we don't cuddle in the bed and stuff now. I just let you know I love you. She had to know.
Right, that don't lie.
So if it's your number one deal breaker, you can't compromise on that. You can compromise on certain things. But your number one? No sir, no ma'am. Right?
Right, I feel you. Okay. Y'all got any thoughts on deal breakers? I see a lot of people smiling when they think my son.
They said Pete
Because
telling the
they're
truth.
working on it. Not your number one, I'm with you on your number
Number
one.
one, you can't do that.
But if you got a few more down the line, they're gonna have to be working on it. Well, if you not getting in.
You got somebody in the back.
Okay, come on.
One of my deal breakers would be lack of responsibility and being careless with money. That's a deal breaker for me.
That's a good one.
That
But is
that's
that
big.
something that you, if you're in the dating process, is that something that you tell them up front? Look, how do you handle your money? You know what I'm saying? Because we can have these deal breakers. Are we discussing it with the person, or do we expect them to say, well, I don't like no broke person. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Do we say it directly? Or is it something that we just expect and we watching how they
Just
shop
watching,
a lot of
observing.
I think you need to say it directly.
I think you should say it directly. If that's your number one,
If it's your number one now. But my thing is
You
this.
did number 10.
so you think all the deal breakers need to be on the table,
You need to
regardless of
talk
what
to
they
them
bring?
and let them know what we bringing to the table.
Talk to me, Doc.
Right. I feel you.
I agree. And just disclaimer or just question to the audience. Are non-negotiables and deal breakers the same thing?
What you say now?
Are non-negotiables and deal breakers the same thing?
Oh yes, sir. That one in the thing.
Okay. Because if that's the case, my number one is just as strong as my number 10.
Right.
And it's just like, if for instance, if we're about to, if I'm dating a young lady and we're about to make strides, or just, you know, we're working towards marriage, and she strikes off and just comes off as like, better yet, I wasn't gonna do this, but why not? So I created a list of non-negotiables.
Oh, he came prepared. Come on.
Is this for the show or this just your life?
Well, no, so here it is. This is actually like personal reflection, because I was having a conversation with one of my homies out of town, and we just got on the subject of like, what are your non-negotiables? And I never really did sit down and take the time to just really ask myself, well, what are the things that, you know, I wouldn't negotiate on? Like, what are my deal breakers? And so I came up with a list.
You got a list of 5 minutes?
Well, just hear me. But I got, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stand up for it.
Oh, come on.
Because here it is.
We didn't plan this.
Yeah, it's cool. Open and I'll share my list with you all, and this is just my personal list. Alright, so.
Poetry night.
Alright, here we are, we here. So, one of my non-negotiables was, off rip, I can't be with someone who doesn't believe in God.
Stop.
Yeah, I got it.
Stop. That's, man, your number one is the number. First of all, I back. I lied. My number one deal breaker is not that. That's definitely my number one deal breaker. Okay, you can keep going. My bad, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Alright, so in no specific order, I'll just run through the remainder, because I know y'all have other note cards.
Oh, you come on. We just
But like, I want someone who has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Alright? I want someone, we already touched on communication. I want someone who's open and honest. Alright? I want someone, like she said, who's financially stable or just financially responsible.
Yes.
I want someone who respects themselves.
Oh yeah.
Alright? Because if you respect yourself, you can learn how, well, you will respect someone else. That's a mirrored effect, in my opinion. I want someone who's emotionally mature. I know everyone, we go through things, we go through heartbreaks, we have experiences, we all have a past, we're all not perfect. It's cool, but be able to own up to your own emotions and be able to grow and learn the emotions of someone else. Alright? I want someone who's mentally stimulating. Alright? I need to be able to grow on all levels. I need you to meet me here. We need to elevate and go up from there. Build. Alright? I want somebody, exactly, he just said it, build. I want somebody who's ambitious.
Yes.
I want nobody that's lazy, because if I'm going somewhere, you can't slow me down.
Yes.
So I need you to, okay, I'm not done yet.
This is not your show. This is my show.
Yeah, all right, and then I'll finish up. One of them is that I don't want someone who's an excessive drinker or smoker. I don't mind if you take your little sips, but if I see behaviors where like you're dependent upon,
Yes.
you're dependent upon some type of drug or whatever the case may be, I don't want that. Now that's just me. Now I just want to wrap this up because I don't want it to get into like it's a X, O, Y, Z, like that type of thing, because if I were to just kind of condense this entire list, what I'm ultimately looking for is a mindset and a spiritual capacity.
Yes, absolutely.
Like that's it. If I were to just take everything I just said and just compress it into two things, I just want to see like where your mind is, because where your mind is going to show me, and it's going to tell me like, okay, where you're going, how can you compliment me?
Right. Well, let me ask you something on that.
That's all I got.
Go ahead.
I let you know, but I got some good stuff.
I love that list. Please send it to us. We want to share
Oh, we gonna
that
talk
on our
about it.
page. That's
Ooh,
some
we're
good
gonna
stuff.
talk about that.
But now, are any of those things flexible? Now, they non-negotiable, right? But just one thing, like the financial responsibility.
That's the one I want to talk about.
Okay, well, you can say your part.
Let me talk about
So,
that.
no, you can say your part.
Oh, okay.
If we are dating and you want somebody that's financially responsible, and I'm not exhibiting that then, right? But I'm willing to, some people that are good finance, they didn't see it in their family or different things like that. So if that's something that's flexible, because, you might say, well, babe, I can work with you. You got to get your finances together within this year. You know what I'm saying?
Saddle, say that question one more time. I want to make sure I do.
Are you flexible? This is some of your non-negotiables, right?
Yes.
But financial responsible, it's kind of like what she was saying. Do you give a person the time on any of these things, or you just want them from the door to come to you already with their finances solid?
No, but you gotta have the potential to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was the other? It was financially responsible or what?
No, it was financially stable or the potential to make
Oh.
money.
Or protect.
Oh,
See,
okay. I missed that part.
That's a point that we gotta talk about right there. That's why I wanted to go there, because so many people, so many times, look at a man or a woman and they're not there yet, right? And they say, well, I need me a boss. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and they miss out on a good man, right?
Right.
Because
Sometimes.
he's not stable at this point, but he got that potential. You see that fire in him. He might need you to light it.
Yeah, but
In the
sometimes
match with it, he might need you to light it.
He
So
might
don't
need-
always push him back.
that's true. But
Do you
sometimes,
see it though? Do you see it?
yeah, but sometimes potential ain't what it is. Because a lot of people can follow. I agree with you. 98%. But 2% saying that potential is not always what we think it is. Like, I see potential. I think that you can rise to this level. But you may not think that you can rise to that level. You might say, I'm comfortable right here. So my potential seeing you up here, that's just what I want for you. You know what I'm saying? So my vision of your potential got to match your ambition.
So if you see this potential in a person,
Right?
how long do you give them to get there? And should they be there by marriage?
Not necessarily, because some people got married at 20 years old. You ain't no.
We know levels are different. We know levels are. We know, of course. We talking about
Mature marriage.
yeah.
Okay, well maybe, but still not necessarily. They could have been with a person that they probably came from a home that didn't teach them good structure and all these things. Then their past relationships probably didn't aid in them lacking the structure or know how certain things. So then when they meet you, they might be ready, but it might be something that you need to teach them to help them get to that level.
Right.
So you cannot say because a person come to you unstable at 30 years old that they necessarily can't be where they aspire to be, or where you see that fake believe potential in.
But do they have the credentials to?
Do they have credentials?
Yeah.
The credentials would matter, I think.
See, my thing. That's where I'm at with it.
And the encouragement.
We gotta stop letting people tell us what they gonna do and they not working towards it.
Right. You got to
See,
take action, not words.
that's what the level we at with our women. Most of our women, we get with the guy and well, baby, I'm gonna be such and such.
Right.
And he ain't went to school yet. It was 6 months, and then you said, well, he said he was gonna be this, and now you going to marry him. So you don't want to get stuck in that place, right?
Right.
So he needs to be showing you
Right.
before you go all the way over the board, before you jump the room, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what goes on, right?
If he's not showing, don't.
So that's why I like that the finance is big.
Yeah, that's fine.
So-
Because you know a lot of things are ruined when finances don't line up.
Well, I heard a wise man. Now, this a wise man told me now.
Okay, what wise man say?
Now, your woman ain't with you for the money, but when the money run out, she start acting funny. That's what a wise man told me.
Well,
Is that right
that's
now?
true. I want to agree with that. It's just, you know, when the money gets funny, everything get on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? Why this sock over here? Ooh, why you got the light on? Everything just get on your nerves when the money gets funny. It's not, I think it's just a human thing because we know we need finances to cover things. So when something not getting taken care of, it just ain't, because a woman's a nurturer, she want to make sure the family is taken care of and in alignment. So when things are out of order, she gonna have an attitude. Y'all said, somebody always said women was emotional. So you know, that's just how we act. Come on, we gotta.
What we got?
He love to say that little saying he said right there.
What a wise man said.
Right. But he already know I'm gonna ride for him no matter
No
what.
matter what, right.
But that when that money get funny is why did that money get funny?
Right, what's the backstory?
That's the backstory
Jesus
too.
in the Christ. I was coming for you.
I'm coming for you, bro.
She making sure. I don't know what country else talk about before we got started.
I was coming for
He like to say that little stuff.
He's
You
such a
just-
wise man.
Yeah, you just make sure you do nothing wrong.
Way, though. He want to sound professional on the show.
Man, let me live.
Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna take a few minutes, like 5, y'all can get y'all a drink, cause we want y'all to drink the wine, you know, we just say we're sipping
We
check,
did.
so.
We got some wine
Y'all
back
can
there,
get
you
y'all a
know.
little drink for like 5 minutes and then we gonna reconvene.
Yeah. Can I get a little what's coming out of your mouth? We do have a song.
What's coming out of your mouth? What's coming out of your mouth? What's coming out of your mouth? It's Shay and Pete. Check him out, check him out. It's Shay and Pete. Check him out, check him out.
Hey, Perry sucks. Nobody cares about him.